Welcome back to Beyond the Box Score. Today is Saturday, November 22, 2025, and we're diving deep into the best college basketball picks and predictions for the day. There's a full slate of games, some intriguing matchups, and a few must-watch storylines that could make all the difference for bettors looking to capitalize on key trends. But before we get to today's action, let's take a moment to recap yesterday and see how the numbers shook out. The day started early with Utah State facing off against Tulane. At halftime, things looked messy. The scoreboard wasn't kind, and for a moment, it seemed like the Aggies might not find their rhythm. But when the second half rolled around, Utah State turned it on. They shot an eye-popping 62% from the field and 52% from three-point range, dominating offensively despite their continued struggles at the free throw line, converting just 67%. They controlled the turnover battle by 15, pulled down 5 more offensive rebounds, and proved why they're the superior squad. Tulane, on the other hand, is a team missing depth, relying almost entirely on Ryan Brumball, their lone consistent contributor. Utah State cruised to a 96-75 victory, sending a statement that they're far and away the better team in this matchup. Next up, Butler -1.5 came through, but it was a nail-biter. Heavy action was placed on this game, so the tension was high. Butler edged South Carolina 79-72, shooting 48% from the field and 42% from deep. Free throws were a recurring nightmare. They converted only 20 of 34, but the win and covering the spread is what truly counts. South Carolina looks like one of the weaker teams in the SEC this season, with perhaps only LSU competing for that dubious honor. UNCC Wilmington -4.5 was another game that went mostly under the radar, at least on my end. I didn't catch a single minute of live action, just tracking the score from afar. Wilmington led by 19 with 8 minutes to go, only to let Radford cut it to 8. Nevertheless, they still covered the spread, winning 81-73. And again, free throws were a struggle, making only 12 of 21 attempts. A recurring theme is emerging: teams we bet on just can't seem to make free throws consistently. Our first loss of the day came with Oakland -2. This one was tough but understandable. Eastern Michigan played perhaps the best game they've had in a decade, scoring 97 points with remarkable efficiency, 63% from the field, 46% from three, and 87% from the line. Redshirt freshman Muhammad Habhab delivered a near triple-double with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Oakland shot well themselves, 51% from the field, 41% from deep, and they won the turnover battle by 4. But Eastern's dominance was simply too much to overcome. And then there's Cincinnati +9.5, the kind of game that leaves a bitter taste. They were up by 4 at halftime, appearing poised to cover. But somehow, the game slipped away, and they lost by 10. A questionable no call on a clear foul in the final seconds didn't help matters. Cincinnati converted only 10 of 16 free throws, while Louisville shot 24 of 28. When will a team we bet on consistently make free throws? The odds suggest maybe never. With yesterday in the rearview, it's time to focus on today's slate. First up, NJIT heads to Navy. NJIT has struggled this season, starting 3-2 and coming off a 32-point drubbing by Drexel, a team that isn't strong itself. They start 2 true freshmen and struggle with shooting, hitting just 39% from the field and 31% from deep, while committing 15 turnovers per game. Navy, on the other hand, returns 3 starters from last year and has experience across the board. Their players are focused, the crowd in Annapolis will be fully engaged, and head coach John Perry has been part of the program for over a decade in various roles. This is a perfect setup for Navy to dominate, and I like them to cover 13.5 points. Next is my favorite pick of the day. Marquette minus 20.5 and the over 152.5 against Central Michigan. Marquette is coming off back-to-back home losses to Maryland and Dayton, teams that, frankly, shouldn't have beaten them. Central Michigan has wins over weak opponents but also some ugly losses and is led by a first-year Division I head coach relying heavily on Division II transfers. Marquette needs this win, and they need it by a lot. They have the firepower to blow past the spread and push the over, and this is a perfect get-right spot for them. Providence minus 4.5 against Penn State is another sharp play. This game takes place at Mohegan Sun, giving Providence what's essentially home court advantage with the crowd almost entirely in their favor. Penn State, while undefeated, has mostly faced weak competition and is extremely young, starting 3 true freshmen. Providence, on the other hand, has a mix of experienced transfers and returning talent. This is a prime opportunity for them to get a power conference win, and the line clearly favors taking Providence. San Francisco is favored on a neutral site against Minnesota, and that line makes no sense. Minnesota is terrible on the road, and their only standout player from last year, Dawson Garcia, is gone. San Francisco, with their massive lineup and shooting prowess, 49% from the field, 40% from deep, should dominate. Their smallest starter is 6 feet 5 inches, and they even have a 7-foot junior center anchoring the team. This is a team built for control and efficiency, and they should win comfortably. Chattanooga faces North Alabama in a SoCon matchup, and this is a true home game for Chattanooga. North Alabama has struggled on the road. Their wins over a Division II school in Northwestern State are unimpressive, and their style relies on isolation with poor ball movement and subpar shooting. Chattanooga, with more experience and a cohesive system, should handle this matchup with ease. Take them at whatever the spread ends up being. Illinois minus 33.5 at home against Long Island is a straightforward get-right spot. They lost a tough game recently but should dominate a lesser opponent by a wide margin. Eastern Kentucky, facing Mercer at home, is in a similar situation, a chance to rebound against weaker competition and cover the spread. Finally, UT Martin minus 7.5 against Prairie View is simply too low. UT Martin has proven they can win on the road and should cover comfortably in this matchup. Every game on today's slate tells a story, from young squads finding their rhythm to powerhouse teams asserting dominance at home. Watch the key stats: shooting percentages, turnovers, rebounding, and free throws, because they often reveal the hidden edge in a matchup. Thanks for joining me today on Beyond the Box Score. If you're enjoying these picks and want more in-depth analysis, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment with your favorite picks for the day, share your thoughts, and let's keep building this community. Remember, the game isn't just about what happens on the court, it's about the numbers, the strategy, and the stories behind every matchup. I'll catch you in the next one.